Well, one thing you want to pay attention to when writing formulas is the order of operations. You'll be able to use all of these operators right here, but the Excel will give you different results based upon the orders of operations. For example, let's take a look at that cell right there and compare it to that cell right there. Basically, what this is doing is taking x to the power of n times 3. So 2 to the power of 2 is 4 times 3 is 12. Right here we have 2 to the power of n times 3. N times 3 is 6. So 2 to the power of 6 would be 64. So the order of operations makes a really big difference, just like any math. And I included this little reminder here of both what the order of operations are, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, and also the difference that is made, because this is all pretty much the same sequence of operators and operands right here and right here, but putting in parentheses will give me different results. So the importance of the order of operations, just as a reminder. If I wanted to see what formulas are in my worksheet, I could go about that in a couple of ways. One, I could go up to formulas and choose show formulas, and it expands everything in my worksheet to make room for it. But if I scroll over, it will now show me all of my different formulas within the worksheet. Alternatively, I'm going to turn off show formulas here. Alternatively, I could also go up to the home ribbon, go over to find and select and choose go to special. And then I could choose, I want to see all of my formulas, and it selects every cell that has a formula in it. Now notice it's only selected those cells. If I click away, those cells are no longer selected. So if I wanted to, once I've gone to go to special and chosen formulas, and those cells are selected, I could come down here and I could say highlight everything that has a formula in it that color. And now those cells will always stay that color. Lastly, I'm going to hit undo there first and just get rid of those. Lastly, if you ever see any pound signs in an Excel cell, then that basically means there are numbers back there, but the column's not wide enough to show them. And the reason Excel did that was because you could tell if this was like, I might look at that figure and think, oh, 40 million. But if I then expanded the column, I might realize there's more numbers to the right. So the pound sign means there's numbers there. I select all of these columns, and so I'm doing that by clicking, left clicking, and dragging over all the columns. And now I'm going to just grab the outer edge of one of the columns, and I'm going to expand it until I can see the numbers. And there are some pretty big numbers back there. Also, I'm going to double click it just to get it fit perfectly. There we go. So that's the basics of writing a formula. Let's look at what it means to have relative references in a formula versus absolute references versus mixed references.